family, and welcome to Ghana Focus. Today, we're going to be focusing on the LGBTQ bill that was passed by the Ghanaian parliament, and it's still waiting for the president to sign it into law. However, the West is threatening economic sanctions, and it's threatening to withdraw aid if the bill is made law. So, what should the president do? On the one hand, the parliament has passed the bill and is saying to the president that he needs to endorse it, he needs to ratify it. But on the other hand, the West is putting pressure on, as it likes to do, with all African countries. It's putting on the pressure and it's saying, if you sign this, we're going to withdraw the aid. Should Ghana succumb to the Western pressure, or are Ghanaians actually free to do what's right for them? This is the question in today's Ghana Focus, and we want you to put your opinions in the comments section. I am going over to our special guest, Brother Kwame Ossie, to ask him to tell us what his views and opinions are and what he thinks the president is going to do and ought to be doing. Welcome, Brother Kwame, to another edition of Ghana Focus in our series.
Good morning to my sister, and thank you for inviting me on to the Ghana Focus show to talk about this most pressing issue that is causing a great stir and controversy in Ghana today.
You're most welcome. Thanks for joining us. I've got a little clip that I'd like to play, but before I go to the clip, let me hear briefly from you.
For me, this so-called anti-gay bill, which actually is the promotion of human sexual relations in Ghanaian values, that's what the bill is actually called, but it's been dubbed anti-LGBTQI bill. For me, the president should pass into law because Parliament has approved it, and Parliament represents the people. And so the president should do the right thing, not be swayed by external opinion, and sign the bill into law, because the people of Ghana voted for you to be their president. You were not elected by the IMF or World Bank, or you were not elected by the West. You were elected by the good people of Ghana, and the good people of Ghana say they do not want any LGBTQI activity in their country.
Okay, thank you for that, Brother Kwame. I have got a clip here. Let me go to the clip now. Here we go. Let's play.
Could I take you to Africa?
Yeah.
Ghana, there's a statement that you issued last night on the anti-LGBTQ bill. Just to follow up on that, if my understanding is that the president, Akufo-Addo, hasn't signed it yet, are there talks with Ghana trying to stop this from the law? And if it comes to fruition, repercussions of any could be?
So we have made very clear what our opinion is on that law. You can look at my statement yesterday, and we have made that clear in private conversations with the government of Ghana as well. I don't think I should get any more specific than that, but if this bill becomes law, it would certainly have a chilling effect on foreign investment and tourism in Ghana. You've seen that same chilling effect bear fruit in Uganda, which passed a very similar law in the past. And I can say that should the bill pass, it would potentially have ramifications on U.S. assistance in the country.
Sure. Just a couple more in Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, Brother Kwame, you heard it there from the U.S. official making it clear that if the president goes ahead and signs, it will have a chilling effect, similar to what happened in Uganda. So, we heard it from the horse's mouth. Sign, and this is what you can expect to have happen. What do you have to say about this outside manipulation and pressure that they're clearly putting Ghana under?
Yeah, I mean, this is a classic Western espionage. Do as I say, then do as I do. And so what they are doing in terms of the clip just played is to try and put enormous pressure on Ghana, or rather the president, not to send the bill into law, because if it does, there'll be some serious economic consequences that Ghana will suffer as a result. Now, I think that's abominable, and I think it's scandalous that America should even do that, because we talk about the rule of law and democracy. Surely, if the people of Ghana have decided through their parliamentarians not to allow LGBTQ activity in Ghana, then why should they interfere in essentially, the internal affairs of a sovereign country? Ghana is supposed to be a sovereign country, and tomorrow, by the way, is 6th of March, which is Ghana's Independence Day celebration, where Ghana celebrates 67 years of independence. So, based on what we just heard from America, is Ghana really independent? Is Ghana free to decide what's in its best interest? Or is Ghana doing what others people to do? That is the question that Ghanaians must ask themselves. And I know that the majority of Ghanaians, having listened to Ghana radio from today, I know the majority of Ghanaians in Ghana are, want this bill to be passed, want this bill to be signed by the president and put into law, because, Ghanaians do not agree with this LGBTQI agenda.
Okay, let's have a look at the bill. It's called the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Act 2024. And in the bill, it's making it absolutely clear that they want to uphold what they call human sexual rights and family values. And they're saying that they want to put in place a duty for all to actually promote human sexual rights and family values, and to prohibit against subverting family values. And that's in relation to LGBTQAP+ and related activities. So they want to prohibit all of these sorts of activities. They want to prohibit its propaganda, its advocacy. They want to prohibit any support or any promotional material promoting this activity. They want also to disband any group, any society, or any association or organization that's involved in promoting LGBTQ, TTQAP+ in their country. And they also want to prohibit the adoption order for LGBTQAP+ persons, and to prohibit them from fostering children as well. And these are just some of the enforcements that they want to put in place to avoid the spread of the LGBTQ+ agenda. And so, this is Ghana. So supposedly an independent country, very Christian, and they believe in what they call human sexual rights and family values, and that's what they want to promote. Why do you think it is that, despite a country that's meant to be independent, they still, nevertheless, have this kind of bully boy tactic when it comes to dealing with Africa? Why not, for example, focus on Saudi Arabia? They do a huge amount of business with Saudi Arabia, who are, also, leaps and bounds ahead of Ghana in terms of how they deal with the LGBTQ+ agenda. Why pressure Ghana and not Saudi Arabia?
Good question. This is typical colonial mentality from the West. They feel that we are still their colonial subjects, and that anything that they say, we must just, say how high. So for me, this is a classic example of that the West have no respect for Africans and our culture and our values. So for example, many Africans practice polygamy, but those of us that live in the West, we don't practice that in the West, because we respect your laws and your customs that outlaw polygamy. So on the same flip side then, why don't you Westerners respect our laws in Africa? We as a whole do not promote or tolerate the LGBTQ agenda, because as it says, it goes against our tradition and African quintessential family values, yeah? Because we believe that, the Creator made female and male, not female and female, not male and male. Or as the Bible that says, the Creator made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Eve. So this is what we Africans believe in. And he's even a Bible quotation. He said that, the Creator said that we should go forth and multiply. So what does that mean? When we go forth and multiply. So the Creator instructed female and male to go forth and multiply. He didn't say, Adam and Steve go forth and multiply. He said Adam and Eve go forth and multiply. So this is essentially forms part of the African spiritual belief that family is the cornerstone of a nation, and the cornerstone of a family is the female and male and the children. So this is what we call traditional African values that for somehow the West does not respect, and they want us to conform to their lifestyle or their family value of LGBTQ&I, which is not an African thing. Because I know there's some people listening who are going to say that, well, Africans have been doing it for years. And I would say to them, where in our sacred books, whether in Mali, Timbuktu, Songhai, Ethiopia, Kush, ancient Egypt, where in our ancient scrolls and texts, our books, does it say man shall lie with man, woman shall lie with woman? It doesn't. You can find it nowhere. This is a thing that's been imposed, even in the so-called Bible. The passage in Leviticus says that man should not lie with man because it is abominable in the eyes of the Lord. So nowhere in the African sacred texts does it say man should lie with man and woman should lie with woman. But in the Western point of view, who don't respect African people and our culture, they want to impose this on us. And they're saying that, particularly America, that if we don't do what they say, then we're going to face sanctions and lose apparently $3.8 billion of investment, from the IMF. And I think it's outrageous that they do that because, like I said, we don't, practice polygamy in their countries because we respect the laws. So why don't they allow us to have our own space by practicing our own culture in our own countries by, having this anti-LGBTQ bill? And it shows you, the real intention of the West, that they don't want the African to promote their family culture and values, but an alien culture and value, which is not to our culture. And just may add on this thing about the threat of the $3.8 billion. Again, for me, respectfully, $3.8 billion is nothing. Ghana is a $60 billion US economy. So why are we skirting, or why are we fearful of $3.8 billion? Like I mentioned to you in one of your shows, every year in Ghana, the Auditor General publishes a report about public sector corruption. Every year, Ghana loses more than $2 billion US to corruption. Now, if we put a cap on that, isn't that $2 billion saved? And then also, as I mentioned, again, in one of your shows, last year, Ghana lost $7 billion US in gold smuggling. Yeah. So those two bits together, the gold smuggling and the corruption, add to $9 billion. And we're crying over $3.8 billion.
Yeah, they need to do the maths. It certainly doesn't add up. But yeah, plug the gap on public sector corruption, plug the gap on the amount of gold that's filtering out of the country through illegal activities. And there, you have like 3 times or more what they're proposing to withhold. I came across a letter here that I'd like to read because I think it's just spot on, really. It's from Dr. Abu Sakara Foster, and he writes, Mrs. US Ambassador, please withdraw the aid and also your military bases, including all military cooperation, because we won't be bullied. What we seek is our relationship. What we seek in our relationship is partnership, not hegemony to be dominated. We want to develop in our own image, not in your likeness. We could not cope with any LGBTQ brigade you may send over here. So please withdraw the military first before the aid. Enough of the bullying. LGBTQ plus people are a tiny fraction of our own population, of your own population, that you have bullied the majority of your own population to accept it. Now you want to selectively bully the rest of the world, starting with the weakest. Why don't you start with Saudi Arabia? We can be friends without agreeing with you on this issue. If, however, you can't have a normal partnership with us without agreement on this one issue, then so be it. It is au revoir, not adieu. Wow, that letter, kind of makes it clear what a significant number of voices from Ghana are actually saying. It's au revoir, and take your army bases with you. What would you say on that in your final remarks on this one?
Yeah, so my final remarks is that, the hypocrisy of the West is breathtaking because, Russia has banned homosexuality. Hungary, Eastern Europe, they've banned homosexuality. Even Italy, the other day, Italy, which is in Western Europe, which is your cousin of America and Britain, they have banned LGBTQ activity in Italy. Even in America, we know some of the states, particularly Donald Trump's core supporters, the alt-right and the far right and the ultra-conservatives, they ban LGBTQ activity in the some states, particularly some states in America. So why all this fuss? Why all this fuss about Ghana? Aren't we free to choose what is in our best interest? And like I said, tomorrow in Ghana is Independence Day. Independence means being able to do things that is in your interest, not in somebody else's interest, and having the freedom to do what is in your best interest. And so LGBTQ is not in our interest, and the president must do the right thing by the people of Ghana who voted for him in huge numbers in 2016 and 2020 and sign the bill. But we know he's not going to sign the bill because of the pressure he's facing. But whoever becomes the president of Ghana must sign this bill, because if we don't, the consequences are there to see. I hear already that even in universities across Ghana, some men are now becoming gay and some women are becoming lesbians. And if this is into law, just imagine what's going to happen in our schools, our colleges and universities across Ghana. And do we really want our young children coming up, those who are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, to actually think that this LGBTQI agenda is the norm? I don't think so, because what is at risk is not only traditional Ghanaian and African family values, it is the future of the country that we're jeopardizing if this bill is not put into law.
Thank you so much, Brother Kwame. Family, you've heard our conversation. What say you? What are your views and thoughts on this? Should Ghana be pressured into endorsing and embracing the LGBTQ plus agenda, or should they be free to make their own decisions? Should they be bullied into, conforming to what the West wants, or, should they stand on their grounds, their principles of family values, and, tell the West to take their army bases and their aid and, get on quite fine without them? Family, we want to hear your thoughts and opinions in the chat. So please let us know, put your opinions in the comment section. And while you're there, please do give us a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Brother Kwame, thank you so much again. Sister Shanice, out of here for today. Bye for now.